First things first, I've been thinking about today for a very long time, and at the same time, I didn't think it would happen this soon. I thought I still had more time to kind of prepare things, but I've kind of procrastinated for quite some time, and that'll be something that you may be understanding why a little later on when you see that some of the things I'm going to talk about are things that happened like 3 years ago and may not be relevant 3 years from now when I even get to them because I've just been collecting and collecting and collecting, but I just have not gotten to them. I've thought about saying this so many times and I keep pausing and I keep hitting delete because I just haven't gotten into the hang of it yet. It's easy for me to write. Putting my face out there is a little bit more intensive. Not because I'm camera shy. There's a bit of that. Plus, a lot of people are going to see this, and a lot of people are going to see what I'm going to talk about, and a lot of people are going to have issues with it. So I've wrote down everything I wanted to say. Wow, that's like 4 months from 4 months ago. So I'm just gonna read off what I said, and I just hope that you have an understanding of where things are gonna be going, and how I'm gonna try to approach things. The important detail here is that while I have done a lot of research and looked into a lot of things, actually putting into practice, editing the videos, creating it and putting it on here. That I don't have as much experience with, so as things go on, production quality might increase. I'm using my phone right now to record this, but going forward, I'd probably be using my little Razor camera that only has 720p, but I'm recording on a much bigger screen, so quality is not going to be consistent with video, but I hope that what's important, which is my opinions and takes on the matter, will be consistent. I do change my opinions a lot. I am a very open person, and if people make good enough arguments, I do try to understand things from their perspective. Not even just devil's advocate, really try to understand that maybe we're not so different, everyone with each other. So I hope that I don't start to come off as a someone who's flippant, goes back and forth, or a hypocrite, or double standards. If I do have those situations, please do point it out to me. I'm not above criticism. I will try to be as transparent as possible and try to make changes where people point them out to be a better person. This isn't necessarily for everybody else out there watching me. This is more for me to kind of understand my own opinions on a matter and see if other people are going to say, no, actually, you're wrong because here's all the proof, here's all the factual evidence. I'd be like, you know what? That's a good argument. I'm going to change my mind because of the things you provided. Makes sense, and now that is my perspective as well. Or maybe not completely, but I'll start to like maybe move a little bit towards kind of their point of view. Again, all my opinions are my own. They're not like my bosses or my parents or my family and friends. I see a lot of people, they see someone say something they don't like, then they're gonna dox them. They're gonna like find out like who they are, who they work for, or call into their office. YouTube has a huge doxing problem. That's something I'll talk maybe later on. This is my first video. I have like 0 views on it right now, so it's not something that I'm gonna experience quite yet. But given the severity of my issues and how controversial they're gonna be, I can imagine that that's gonna happen pretty quick. And one concern is probably gonna happen before I even get anywhere, and God knows what'll even happen from there. what I want to try to do is at least put my opinion out there so that no one in the future can say, so and so said this. Apparently, Garg said that people should not be allowed to blah blah blah. Whatever they say, what I say is what I say. So please don't accept what other people say. That's just a general rule. I'm not one that likes gossip, so goes for not just people on YouTube, people on like in your own social circles. Try to base your opinion on their character based on what they say. And if what they say is awful, then obviously don't respect them for that. But don't also like respect or not respect someone because of something somebody else said. You will see going on that there's going to be a lot of people that I do not have very much respect for, and I may have not seen them, met them personally, and maybe if I see them face to face, I might change my reaction. But there's a lot of things they said out of their own mouth, and they seem to be pretty okay with what they're saying. And if that's their opinion on the matter, well, I respect them for having that opinion, but it sure as hell ain't mine. So let's get going. And on to the next topic. So we talked about doxing. I really don't want that to happen. One other problem that's gonna happen is I'm not a deeply serious person. I love making jokes, even on very serious topic. I've never really taken anything serious, and there's gonna be some things that I'm gonna, try to address with the seriousness it deserves. But sometimes, people just aren't supposed to be serious 24/7. And sometimes trying to look at something that's happening with a lighter tone helps people kind of swallow the pill better. And that's kind of like another thing I want to do, which is help people swallow pills of topics that may be a little more difficult to accept. That's really one of my biggest goals there. Whether I actually achieve it, that's another topic. Next thing is that I do not really want to make mistakes. A lot of people make mistakes. I am definitely going to make mistakes. I will apologize for making mistakes, but I will keep making them. I'm human, and I'll try to learn from them and try to change. Do hold me accountable, but also accept that, I don't have anybody behind me. I don't have a production team looking at what I'm saying, peer editing, stuff like that. I have a lot of friends who's gonna support me and help guide me. But everything here is me doing it, and I want to make sure that what I'm doing is right. And if I get things wrong, it's not the internet's job to kind of like teach me. Like you guys, I'm not paying you to be my teacher, but we're all here to learn from each other. So I try to teach everyone what I can about my opinions, and if you guys have anything that you guys say is correct, as I said before, I'm happy to change my opinion if these circumstances and the factual evidence is provided that substantiate your opinion. Yeah, I mean, end of the day, I'm an adult. I will try to do the best I can, but everybody makes mistakes. Give me 1 second. I think this is probably the first part where I'm gonna do a little cut. 1 second. Yeah, I tried to do this in like one go, but obviously that's not possible. Especially since I already gave up reading everything I said in my script, and I've gone off script since from the start. So kind of like from take two, if I continue where I was going off, I will make mistakes, honestly, more than most YouTubers out there, probably in the kind of field that I am, looking to kind of draw attention to. Um, and I don't mean mistake by saying something that's wrong. A lot of people are going to say something that's wrong and never change their opinion on it, and they're going to think they're right all the time. I'm going to say something that I just won't even realize is wrong, no matter how much I've looked into it. Um, and again, it's not the internet's job to hold me accountable, um, but I will appreciate constructive criticism. Criticism. Wow, that is a hard word. Criticism. So they not only keep me grounded, but they allow me to learn, stay open minded, stay flexible, and try to take into consideration that things that are may not be the way that I view them. So while I'm trying to build this jigsaw puzzle of everything that I know, I honestly I have a lot of missing pieces, and every day I learn that the 100-piece jigsaw puzzle I started when I was born became 1,000-piece jigsaw puzzle, 10,000-piece jigsaw puzzle, and we only know what we know, but this jigsaw puzzle of life is now like in the millions of pieces, and I'm trying to fit all the pieces I can, but life being what it is, sometimes it's gonna throw a piece into the millions that doesn't even go in this set, it's another box, somebody else's opinion, or something that's like alternate universe, if you believe that. Um, so, I will try to do all the research I can, try to understand information from every side. And believe me, I'll even criticize every side. I'm no expert, but believe me, no side is perfect on any given topic, whether it's right versus left, religion versus non-religion, which sex, which race. I'm no expert in LGBT rights, infrastructure. I'm no scientist or doctor, engineer. I don't have any credentials, but what I do have is honesty, and that honestly goes a lot further than a lot of people who have those and yet are still wrong about a lot of the things they say. And I'm not talking about YouTube doctors who have a fake degree and are passing information as fact. Um, I mean, there's a lot of people that may be respected in their field, but still get things wrong. And you know what? Sometimes what we have to do is make sure that we address what is wrong and try to fix it. The first step in fixing a problem is realizing that there is one. Unfortunately, a lot of people not only fail to accept that something is wrong, but they just do not want to accept something's wrong. It's either nothing is wrong, or even if it's wrong, I'm not gonna fix it. Kind of like the whole being oblivious versus being ignorant. What's the difference? I don't know, and I don't care. So that's kind of a lot of problem people have, including me. I'm not perfect. I try to be not that. Um, I never probably try to use a thesaurus a little more often. um, so yeah, there's gonna be a lot of people with less information than me, and they're gonna say something's written in stone, but nothing's written in stone. Nothing is black and white. Um, I'm not black or white, and I don't mean that in like a race way. I mean, I'm not like right wing or left wing, liberal or conservative, libertarian or authoritarian or anarchist. I try to criticize all of them when I can, and honestly, I'm not one to put labels on myself because not only are things not black and white, but there's parts of something that I agree with from one side, but I may wholly disagree with complete parts of another. But people will try to put me in one or the other because one time, like 10 years ago, I said this one thing and I may still agree with it, but I still may identify as the other side, or I still identify with the side I am. I haven't changed my opinion on that, but that one part that I thought was correct, I may no longer agree with. Um, I've been terminally online for 20 years probably. Since I could use the internet, I've been on it. And I've seen a lot of people come and go, a lot of people's opinions, and my opinions have definitely changed along the internet. Not just like along like the sheep, as people say, where um, everybody's mind is on one topic at a time, and everybody's going in the same way, where the topic might be like gays are really popular 20 years ago, but now it's something different, and now let's all change topics on that. Like 10 years ago, woke was like such a cringe thing to be. You'd see like half of YouTube would be conservative shuts down woke people, but now what you can see is that it's actually made a flip where it's woke people, whatever that means, woke, making fun of conservatives for being their own version of what people criticize the left of being 10 years ago. So nobody is perfect. Nobody's right. Nobody's on the correct side. Um, but I believe as long as you stand up for humans and human rights, you'll always be on the right side of history. As long as you don't hurt people or animals, um, the standards are very low, and yet people are still going below that. So I want to try to address those people and try to bring people together. I mean, everybody says that, right? It's like bringing people together with community and comedy and stuff, education. And honestly, a lot of the things they say is the most unhinged shit that is going to, drive people further away from each other because of like some of the things they say, maybe super racist or bigoted in a different way. Um, and again, you probably saw me say a lot of things already, and you already say dismissing me, saying, "Oh, look at that! He's using woke language and left buzzwords." And believe me, that is not the direction I'm trying to go here. Please do bear with me. Um, I'm not left, but I am also not right. Unfortunately, these days, even being centrist gets you in a lot of trouble. Believe me, you do not want to know how life was growing up as someone who was agnostic. It's not just even like being like Muslim or Christian that gets you in trouble versus atheists. Now even agnostic, everybody just dismisses you. Like that one scene from a Community with Jeff where everybody was just like, "Oh my god, this guy," typical lawyer. Um, so yeah, I'm pretty opinionated, but I do like to change my opinions, and a lot of the things I say may come off as, yeah, that's a pretty normal take to, normal people or people that are super crazy on one side of a topic or another. They're going to roll their eyes, they're going to scoff, and like I said something that's like super extremist, or like I made some big revelation when I simply just said, like, don't kill people, just don't. Um, you know, I just want to make sure that everybody is trying to have their little piece on the planet, live in peace. I'm not really going to try to say something to farm drama and get clout from like anger. That's going to be the easy way, I'd be like, I'd already have like 1 million views on this video within a month if I try to go after like the most crazy things I could say just to get views. But at the end of the day, that's not gonna be me saying something that I personally agree with. This is gonna be something that I want to put out in the world, and demonizing the internet either against me or making a cult of people who think like me and demonizing them against someone else is the opposite of what I want to do here. Um, I'm not in here in it for the money. I'm not in it for to become like rich and famous. I just want, an end to the culture war for one thing. People are always going at it on the internet, at each other's throats. I've One of my main motivators is seeing just how much of an uptick there is in anger on the internet, where as the years go on, people seem to be more hostile to each other, and I'm not experienced enough to handle that, but I see a lot of things that I think I can address that I think will try to fix some of that. And what I want to do is I want to try to fill this hole I see in the internet where I feel like there's some things that people aren't talking about, or there's going to be a lot of topics that you may have heard 1 million times over, but there might not be the right level of nuance to it. The left are going to have their opinion on something, the right are going to have their opinion on something, and the scary parts are sometimes the left and right agree on something and it's bad for everybody else. Like a certain war going on right now. I probably shouldn't be. Sorry, I was about to sneeze. It might be too soon to say those words right now. I'm not sure how kindly YouTube takes to certain topics, because it's something I see YouTubers talk a lot about, where they say one word about one topic and suddenly their entire channel is permanently removed from legibility. And a lot of the things I'm going to talk about, because I feel like they're too important not to be said, it's going to happen to my channel sooner than later. And I just think if that's what happens, that's what happens. It's more important for me to say what I say than to keep my mouth shut and let the world keep going down this spiral path of evil that's just gonna keep getting bigger and bigger and keep going on and on. I want to try to make something healthy out of that. And the internet may not be the best place to try that, but the internet is where we are all connected. No matter where you come from, everybody uses the internet unless, your government doesn't want you to. That's part of politics, which I'll get to later. As I said, I'm not one for politics, but at the same time, I was gonna try to do everything in one take. But again, you can see how hard it is. Even me, I didn't think it's gonna be this hard to try to keep everything in one take. How much harder than it is once you actually get down and start doing it. I think I'm turning into Azula. I have like the hairs coming out, and as the hairs come down, the crazier I become. um, but yeah, I'll try to keep myself on topic and not go on too many rants and long winded essays. A lot of the things I say may start to be like essays. I'm going to see a news headline. I'm going to talk about it because I think it's something important to talk about. A lot of the things you're going to agree with, you're going to say, yep, that's normal. I don't know if I even brought that up. But I thought it's important to say a lot of the things I think is nobody's talking about is like, hey, I haven't seen too many people say this, but this topic here, I don't think they're getting the right take on this. Let's discuss this. And I just want to do everything I can to try to bring everything under one normal, controlled environment where we have a good place to discuss things and criticize in a constructive and well deserved manner instead of going on witch hunts and giving people kind of like hatred they don't deserve for a mistake they did, because I know it's just as easy for them to send a mob after me, and I don't want that. But yeah, I think I'll start to cut it down from here. You know, as I said before, I do want to drive this point home. I don't have credentials in history, religion, geopolitics, anything like that. I do have quite an extensive history in technology. Those are topics that I may probably discuss further down the line too, but honestly, there's so many problems going on a human level that I want to address first, and there are more technical issues towards something that I'm knowledgeable about. I will discuss, but again, they're going to be more on the human side of the technology. Um, but I am no expert, and all I ask is that you don't give me the benefit of the doubt, because I'm not gonna be always correct on everything I say. I try to be transparent, but if I say something you think is wrong, um, you know, it's probably because I might actually be wrong on it. So I'm happy to try to sit down with you guys, try to chit chat and discuss things where we both understand something. I might say something that might be upsetting to someone, or I don't want to say like trigger people because that's a whole nother no word on the internet. But again, that's not my goal. That's not what I'm trying to do here. That's the exact opposite thing of what I want. I want to bring people together, because one of the important parts of unity isn't just people not fighting on the internet, because I'm personally tired of seeing it. Like, it's exhausting to see on the internet every day. But also, there's things that I'm going to talk about way off in the future about why unity is so important to me. And it's just not because of, oh, let's all be good to each other for goodness sake. Let's all be good to each other because you never know when you're going to need your neighbor's help, and you think your neighbor's intolerant of your views as a person. But end of the day, you never know when something much bigger, much darker is gonna happen, and you're gonna wish you had someone to watch your back. Everybody wants to make their place in the world, and I don't want people to live their entire lives looking around their shoulders, wondering if they're gonna go get home safe. because whether they did something or they said the wrong thing or have the wrong skin color or something like that. So I think I'll end this thing here. It's already gone a lot longer than I expected, but personally, I think that's a good sign. Now with this, it did become a little fancy. I'm sorry, but some of the things I've written about are gonna be. I think I've written down everything I think about them, but as we start talking about them, I think we're gonna see more understanding of them, and we can put more insight towards them. So I wish you guys all a fantastic day, and I think starting tomorrow we can see some actual good stuff coming out. Um, this is gonna sound weird. I don't even know. I don't have a community. I have 0 subscribers right now, but we should really start coming up with something to call each other. Until then, arrivederci.